Rafael Nadal responded, and the occasion Alex Eala was welcomed as a hero at the whole tennis tournament at the BNP Paribas Open. The world paused to observe. She had not even yet struck a ball in the main draw. She had not even touched a match court, but the desert of California, her name was already being chanted. Supporters were carrying selfie sticks over the barriers of practice court 6 in order to capture an image of a 20-year-old from Quezon City, Philippines. A girl who was not even ranked inside the top 100. Here she was sitting, greeted, honored, and passing through the Indian Wells tennis garden while everyone yelled her name like she had already won the whole competition. How does anything like this even happen? How does a child from the Philippines achieve such a grand arrival onto the world stage? Stay with us, because the story of Alex Eala's arrival at the BNP Paribas Open in 2026 is not limited to tennis. It concerns a country, a mentor, a legacy, and a moment that has gone viral for all the right reasons. Now, let's return to the beginning, because without the start, the arrival makes no sense. Quezon City is where Alex Eala was born. The Philippines, a nation where basketball is a religion and tennis is an afterthought, where most families could list every player's favorite basketball team but would struggle to name a single Filipino on the WTA tour. Tennis in the Philippines was a sport for the privileged few, practiced in gated clubs with a small specialized audience. It was never a mainstream sport. It was never expected to create a global star until it did. Eala began at a young age demonstrating a talent so rare, so pure, that it caught the attention of a legendary figure from the sport's past, the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain. Think about that for a moment. Rafael Nadal is one of the most decorated tennis champions, a man with 22 Grand Slam titles to his name, saw this girl from the Philippines and said, "She belongs here." She was a teenager at the time, traveled across the ocean, settled in Spain, and began learning the game at the feet of greatness. She flourished. As a junior, she won 2 Grand Slam doubles titles in a row, victories at the Australian Open and the 2020 and 2021 French Open. But junior titles, as beautiful as they are, mean little on the senior tour. The professional game is a completely different beast, faster, tougher, and far less forgiving. The transition from junior prodigy to WTA contender breaks more careers than it creates. Eala knew this, yet she accepted the challenge. The rise was difficult at times and slow. She spent years working her way through the lower-level ITF and Challenger tournaments, improving her ranking 1 point at a time. There were painful losses. There were tournaments that ended early. But there were also flashes, clear signs that something special was being built. Then in 2025 at the Miami Open, as a wild card who was not even expected to go far, she did the unthinkable. Eala defeated Madison Keys. She defeated Yelena Ostapenko. She advanced to the WTA semifinals as a wild card entrant. In doing so, she became the first Filipino woman in history to enter the top 100 in the world rankings. The Philippines did not just watch. The Philippines exploded with pride. That run in Miami changed everything. It changed how the world viewed Eala. It changed how Eala viewed herself. It triggered a chain of events that eventually brought her to the California desert ranked 31st in the world, walking not as a visitor entering tennis paradise, but as a star already recognized. And this is what makes this moment even more meaningful. Keep watching, because Nadal's reaction to all of this is something you need to hear. Indian Wells, March 2026, California. The BNP Paribas Open, widely considered the 5th Grand Slam, is underway. The air in the desert is warm, the courts are perfect, and the biggest names in women's tennis are arriving. Aryna Sabalenka, the world number 1. Iga Swiatek, number 2. Elena Rybakina, the reigning champion. Coco Gauff. These are the stars for whom Indian Wells was built. These are the names that sell tickets and control the broadcast schedule. Yet something unusual was happening around practice court number 6. Before Alex Eala had even played a single match ball, fans were flooding the practice court. Not just a few dozen spectators, but crowds climbing up to peer over the fences of neighboring courts. Others took seats nearby just to watch a practice session. Selfie sticks were lifted above the crowd, desperately trying to record video of a player simply preparing for training. Even the official BNP Paribas Open website documented the scene, describing Eala as one of tennis's most fascinating rising stories, praising her captivating personality, electrifying style of play, and the passion of her fan base. That kind of description on the official tournament website is rare. It is not how they describe every participant. It is reserved for someone who has done something extraordinary. Then came the moment that went viral. After her Monday practice sessions, 2 sessions separated by lunch, a large crowd gathered and shouted Eala's name as she walked toward the players' lounge. During what was supposed to be an ordinary training day, the tournament captured the feeling in 5 simple words that quickly spread across social media. The Alex Eala effect is real. Filipino fans had arrived at Indian Wells. One supporter interviewed courtside explained the phenomenon perfectly. "We only pay for the subscription when Alex plays. Not for tennis in general, not for the WTA Tour, only when Alex is on the court." That single sentence spread across sports pages, tennis forums, and social media in the Philippines because it represented an entire nation finally having a player of its own on the world's biggest stages. Speaking with the BNP Paribas Open media team, Eala acknowledged the change. "I've always dreamed of helping tennis grow in the Philippines," she said. "Now I'm bringing a completely new audience to tennis around the world." There was something powerful in that statement. She is not just playing tennis, she is building something. She has become a doorway through which an entire country is stepping into the sport. And here is another remarkable layer of the story. Alex Eala is not only the product of talent and determination, she is also the product of a system. A system connected to a man who understands better than almost anyone what it takes to climb from nothing to the top of the world. At his academy in Mallorca, Spain, Rafael Nadal did not just train players. He mentored them. He guided Eala through some of the most important early years of her career. Think about the symbolism. Nadal, a man who spent his career building champions through discipline, humility, and relentless work, believed in a young Southeast Asian girl at a time when almost no one outside the Philippines knew her name. And now that same girl is sitting at the BNP Paribas Open ranked number 31 in the world, entering Indian Wells as a legitimate force in women's tennis, while many players who once competed beside her at the same level are still fighting through qualifying rounds just to reach the main draw. She even received a first-round bye. When news of Eala's viral welcome at Indian Wells spread, when images of chanting crowds and packed practice courts filled social media, the reaction from the Rafa Nadal Academy community was immediate and emotional. Those who had watched her grow from a talented teenager in Mallorca into a confident professional at Indian Wells responded with the pride that comes from seeing someone you truly believed in succeed. Nadal himself, now retired from professional tennis, but still closely connected to the academy that bears his name, has followed Eala's journey carefully. Seeing crowds like those in the California desert at one of the biggest tournaments outside the Grand Slams represents exactly what the academy was built to produce. Not just champions, but players who change the story of their sport, players who transform entire countries. Only a year ago, Eala was ranked 140th in the world. 1 year ago, she was not even playing at Indian Wells, she was watching from the outside. Yet within 12 months, she became a seeded player in the draw, a Nike partner wearing customized outfits inspired by the national flower of the Philippines, and the subject of feature articles on the tournament's official platform. That is not luck. That is the Nadal Academy blueprint working exactly as intended. But the story was only beginning. Because when Eala finally stepped onto the court, the internet exploded again. Saturday, March 7th, 2026, Indian Wells Tennis Garden, Stadium 3. Alex Eala, ranked 31st in the world, walked onto the court for her BNP Paribas Open main draw debut against Ukraine's Diana Yastremska, ranked 52nd in the world. On paper, this looked like a manageable opening match. Eala had beaten Yastremska only months earlier, defeating the Ukrainian 6-1, 6-2 in the quarterfinals of the 2025 Eastbourne Open. She knew this opponent well, but the experience advantage still belonged to Yastremska, and that became obvious once the match began. Yastremska came out aggressively. The Ukrainian, a powerful baseline with a heavy serve and explosive ground strokes, fired 8 aces during the match and forced Eala to fight for every single point. The first set became a battle of strategy, with both players trading momentum and breaks of serve. Eventually, Eala edged it 7-5, though it was anything but comfortable. Yastremska responded strongly in the second set. She broke early, built a lead, and held on with aggressive play to win the set 6-4, forcing a deciding third set. Then came the final set, the one that kept Filipino fans awake far past midnight on the other side of the world. At 4-5, Eala was close to losing the match. The crowd could feel the tension. The Filipino supporters inside the stadium felt it. Millions watching from home on their phones in the early hours of the morning felt it too. This was the moment that separates champions from challengers. Eala responded with incredible composure. She won the next 3 games. She broke Yastremska to level the score at 5-5, held serve to lead 6-5, and then survived 6 tense deuces in the final game before Yastremska's forehand flew long on match point. The match lasted 2 hours and 43 minutes. The final score read 7-5, 4-6, 7-5. Eala's fist pump was electric. The crowd erupted, and somewhere in the Philippines, millions of people who should have been asleep hours earlier shouted in celebration. During the press conference after the match, she spoke directly to those fans. "It means the world to me to have my community supporting me in this incredible tournament," she said. "For them to stay awake late at night just to cheer for me really means everything." She was also asked about playing such a long match late in the evening, and her answer showed her humility. "It's already past midnight. By the time I finish my routines and calm down from the adrenaline, I'm not sure when I'll sleep. But this is the life, and I'm grateful to be here." For simple words, this is the life. No complaints, no excuses, just gratitude and quiet confidence from someone who knows exactly where she wants to go. That is why everything you have just seen is more than a sports story. 1 year earlier, Eala was ranked 140th in the world. 1 year earlier, she was not even part of the BNP Paribas Open draw. She was not a seed. She was not featured on the official tournament website, and no one was filling practice courts just to watch her train. The journey from there to here, from 140 to 31, from unknown player to the face of Filipino tennis, is a story about belief during uncertainty, persistence during struggle, and what happens when a player finally reaches the level she has been preparing for her entire life. The talent had always been there. Even during that incredible run in Miami in 2025, Eala was not overperforming. She was finally playing at the level she had been preparing for throughout her career. Victories over top players were not accidents. They were the result of years of training at the academy of Rafael Nadal, years of practice sessions, years of defeats nobody broadcast, and victories that barely made headlines. Now the headlines are everywhere. Nike designed special clothing for her. Vogue Philippines featured her in its pages. The BNP Paribas Open published stories about her arrival even before she played a match. One fan paid for a television subscription in the United States simply to watch her play. An entire country adjusted its sleep schedule to follow her matches. What does this mean for tennis in the Philippines? Everything. As Eala herself said, she is not just winning matches. She is introducing a completely new audience to tennis. Every child in the Philippines who sees her walking through the Indian Wells Players Lounge hearing fans shout her name, every parent who suddenly begins explaining the WTA Tour to their child, every supporter who buys a streaming subscription only when Alex plays. That is the legacy being created right now in real time on the hard courts of the California desert. And remember this, when she arrived at Indian Wells in 2026, there were players she once competed against in the same lower-tier challenger tournaments, players like Jasmine Paolini, Talia Gibson, and Lulu Sun.